What's up, guys, and welcome to the last deals roundup of 2023 / first deals roundup of 2024. Before we get into anything related to running shoes today, I want to take a minute to say thank you all for the support this year. It's been awesome watching this community grow, watching you leave positive comments, watching you encourage each other, watching you nerd out with me in everything related to running shoes and performance running. We're just getting started. We got some big goals for 2024. We're going to keep cranking on these YouTube videos every single day, bringing you energy and positivity and the latest and greatest in performance running. So today I rounded up the 10 best running shoe deals to ring in the new year and to close out 2023. If you watched these deal roundups before, you know I like to do these sub $100 deals. Some of them today are a little bit above that because I did want to highlight a few good ones I saw on some shoes that I've been running in that I think will be a good addition to your rotation. So right, guys, before we get into it today, if you haven't checked out the Running Shoe Matcher tool yet, go to runningshoematcher.com. So this is a really cool tool I built that matches you with the best shoe for you based on your goals and preferences. So you can go in there, answer 5 questions about what type of shoe you're looking for, whether you want a daily trainer, a race day shoe, or a tempo shoe, whether you like your shoes soft or firm, and we'll match you with the best shoe for you. So it's live right now and it's free. You can check it out at runningshoematcher.com, and I'll put a link in the description below. All right, let's get into it. Alright, guys, the first deal we got today is the New Balance SC Trainer V2. This one is being sold right now for $140 at newbalance.com. As I noted in the opener, I typically like to highlight deals that are around $100 or below, but this one is priced at $180 usually. And shoes like this that are relatively new don't typically see these 20%, 30% discounts. So it looks like New Balance is trying to get rid of this colorway because this discount is only on this colorway and I think maybe one other colorway, but I absolutely love these bright looking shoes. So I had no problem picking it up for that $140 price point. So far I put 2 runs on this shoe. I did an 8 miles with strides yesterday, and then I did a 20 miler today. These have been an awesome addition to my marathon training rotation. They're bouncy, they're fun. It's like running on a trampoline. It's like everything that I loved about the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3, except with a little bit more stack underfoot and a carbon plate instead of a plastic plate. Now I know the shoe is a little bit divisive. Some of you, when I posted that YouTube short yesterday about my first run, said you loved it, some said you hated it, some said you sent it back. So I think this is going to be one that if you like these higher stack shoes, maybe if you're a bigger runner, this will work well. But if you liked V1, maybe this won't be the shoe for you. So if you are looking for a new marathon training shoe for long runs, for any of those days where you really want something to take that pressure off your legs, but that has a plate for some pace pickup, this would be an excellent choice. All right, guys, next up we have the On Cloud Stratus 2 for $100 at Running Warehouse. Now this is a shoe that I haven't highlighted a ton on this channel, but I've actually put 500, 600 miles on 2 different pairs of these, mostly in 2022 and the beginning of 2023. Now On is a brand that some runners who are deep into the running shoe game don't really love, but I actually love the ride of these shoes, and particularly the Cloud Stratus here. It has a nice firmer, snappier ride. It's very planted, it's nice and slightly stable. So if you like shoes that have a little bit of stability and support for your everyday miles or your recovery runs, this would be a great choice. If you look at the back here, it has one of these plastic heel clips like we see in the Saucony Endorphin Shift 3, and it does have the Rock Catcher 5000 on the bottom, and it also does have On Speedboard in the bottom here, which is a plastic plate up close to the foot that adds a little bit more rigidity to the shoe. If you look at the flexing here, it's not too firm. It just has a nice little bit of snap, and it's a really fun ride for those days where maybe you have some strides in there, maybe you have some slight pace pickups, but overall a nice comfortable daily trainer that also looks pretty good and can be retired into some serious dad wear or mom wear after its usable running life. So $100 at Running Warehouse. All right, guys, next up we have the Atreyu Daily Trainer for $54 at rei.com. Now Atreyu is an Austin-based running brand that focuses on making simple and affordable shoes, and the Daily Trainer is their everyday running shoe. So this is a shoe that uses a full supercritical foam midsole similar to that top layer of the Hoka Mach 5, that ProFly Plus that we see in the Hoka. So it's gonna be nice, soft, slightly bouncy, not super protective or super high stacked. So this wouldn't be a shoe that I would go for if you need something for a ton of long runs or a ton of those medium long runs in marathon training. But if you're a newer runner or you want something for just 30 to 45 minute everyday runs, it also looks great around town. This is a great option, especially at that $54 price point. Also, you can support a small growing brand, which is a great thing to do in the running game because there aren't too many of these niche brands who are putting out high quality products at an affordable price point. All right, guys, next up we have the Saucony Endorphin Shift 3 for $80 at Running Warehouse. Now this is one of my favorite shoes of the past year. I put 350 miles on my pair. I think this currently has the top spot as my highest mileage shoe from 2022 and 2023, right up there with the Saucony Triumph, which has maybe 340 miles. So this is a firmer, higher stacked daily trainer. It uses Saucony's Power Run foam, which is a standard EVA, and has a massive stack here, 39 millimeters in the heel and 35 millimeters in the forefoot for a lower drop. So the reason I like this shoe so much is because I'm a bigger runner. I'm 6'2", about 160 pounds, and it's worked really well for my mechanics. I have a lower cadence, so sometimes a firmer shoe, especially with this rolling sensation, is really nice for me because it gives me enough energy return on those days where I want a little bit more protection but don't want something super marshmallowy like a traditional max cushion shoe might feel. So if you're a bigger runner or don't like the feeling of those super soft shoes, this is a great choice. I know for some smaller runners out there or those who don't love firm foams, this can feel a touch too firm. I was actually going back and forth with someone yesterday, Becky Fox, who was telling me she tried this on at our local running store. She was really excited about it, but it was a little bit too firm for her. So if you are used to running in a more cushioned soft shoe, this might not be for you. But if you like a little bit more resistance and structure to your shoes and want a little bit more stability in your everyday running shoe, check out this plastic heel clip back here. And the Saucony Endorphin Shift 3 is a great choice at that $80 price point. Also, this will not be getting a Saucony Endorphin Shift 4, so buy it up now while you can to stockpile it for 2024. All right, guys, next up we have the New Balance 880 V13 for $69 at REI.com. So this is one that's been on sale for a few months now, and as I've gone into REI over these past few weeks and I've done these in-person deal highlights, it's been on the wall every single time at $60 or $70. So the 880 V13 is a classic daily trainer setup. It has a moderately cushioned foam in here, so it's going to be not too firm, not too soft. It's just a simple, no frills shoe that can get the job done for those everyday miles without doing anything that blows your mind. There's no crazy tech in here. There's no fancy foams. It is a dual foam setup where there's a slightly firmer foam in the heel, a little bit more of a softer foam in the forefoot, but these aren't going to be race day foams. There's no plate in here. It's just offering a straight down the middle of the plate run experience. So if you're a fan of shoes like the Nike Pegasus or the Adidas Audi Zero SL and you need another workhorse daily trainer style shoe, this would be a really good choice, especially for that $70 price point. Now, I did get a chance to see the 880 V14 at the running event in November, and with that shoe, they're going with a 100% fresh foam midsole, so that one's going to be a lot softer than we see in the V13. So if you are a fan of these firmer shoes, it might be a good chance to buy it now at the $70 before this stock goes away and we're stuck with the softer V14. All right, guys, next up we have the shoe that I crowned the best running shoe deal of 2023. That is none other than the infamous, the one and only Adidas Audi Zero SL. And this one is at that basement bargain $35 price point at REI.com. So this is going to be a firmer daily trainer that is great for faster miles. So if you already have something super soft in your rotation, or if you prefer to run your everyday runs a little bit faster, this is a great shoe. So over the summer, I put a ton of miles on this. I think it's sitting at around 250 miles right now. And I used it for everything from some light workouts where I was throwing some marathon pace in there, even up to 16-mile long runs. So this is a really versatile shoe. If you are a faster runner who likes a little bit of a firmer ride, this can be a do-it-all guy for your rotation. And at $35, you're not going to find any better deal on the market. All right, guys, next up we have the Brooks Hyperion Max. This is on sale for $63 at Dick's Sporting Goods. This typically retails for about $170, so this is a really great deal that we see right now at Dick's Sporting Goods. So this is a non-plated, lightweight, speed-oriented shoe. So it uses this firmer DNA flash foam in here that has a nice fast ride when you pick up the pace. For me, the shoe didn't work too well for my mechanics. It's not super friendly for heel strikers because you can see back here there's a little cutout, but it's a really good option for forefoot strikers and midfoot strikers who want a shoe that doesn't have a plate for some of their shorter and faster efforts. Now, it is called the Hyperion Max, but the stack height in here definitely isn't what you'd expect from a max cushion shoe. So it's not going to be the best option for long runs. I would prefer a little bit more cushion, a little bit of a softer feeling for that. But if you want something for your speed work days, maybe you're doing some track work or interval training, then the Hyperion Max would be a great choice. Now, I did get a chance to see the Hyperion Max 2 down at the running event, and that is getting a much softer foam, a higher stack. They're bumping it up by 4 millimeters. And they're putting in a plastic plate in there to make it a true rival to the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3. So I know some of you out there are big fans of this. There's almost a Hyperion Max hive out here of folks who love this shoe. So if that is you, you should definitely snag this at that $60 odd price point right now before the V2 comes out, because that is taking the shoe in a completely different direction. I should add though that the lower stack version of this shoe, the Hyperion, will be slotting in to replace this, so Brooks still will have a non-plated speed shoe in their lineup come 2024. All right guys, next up we have the Adidas Boston 12 for $112 at adidas.com. Now this isn't the cheapest that we've seen this shoe, but it looks like they are trying to turn over their colorways for the next season. So this blue guy here is the one that's on sale for $112, and a lot of the other ones are still sitting at $160. So the Adidas Boston 12 for the past 2 months has been my long run and workout shoe. Now that I slotted in the SC Trainer into my lineup, this might be shifted around just a tiny bit, but compared to the SC Trainer, this has a much firmer ride. Instead of having 100% of a racing foam like the SC Trainer does and like the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3 does, this has a dual foam construction. So the bottom layer is Light Strike 2.0, which is a firmer EVA, and the top layer is Light Strike Pro, which is Adidas's supercritical TPEE race foam. And of course, in the middle here, we have these glass fiber energy rods, which give a little bit more support and structure to the shoe. So this is a shoe that does require some break-in, feels a lot firmer out of the box than the SC Trainer does or the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3, and even out there on the run, it is going to be a firmer ride. However, it comes alive at faster paces when you can really optimize all of this Light Strike Pro foam that you see in the forefoot here. This is really the magic. So when you're hitting off the top of this at that midfoot or forefoot strike, it is a beautiful sensation, and this is one of my favorite shoes I've run in over the past year and a half for running fast. So don't let the pretty looks of this colorway confuse you. Don't let the bigger stack height confuse you. This is a speed shoe through and through. I think that's where it's getting a little bit of a confused reputation in the running shoe market right now, is that a lot of folks are expecting this to ride like a Speed 3 or an SC Trainer V2. That is not the case. Yes, it is a plated trainer like those shoes, but it's not a plated trainer that you're gonna wanna take out every day for all of your aerobic pace miles. This is a shoe that really shines at marathon pace and faster. If you're training for a half marathon or even a 10K, this would be a great choice for those miles. And especially as we get into the winter, this thing has a continental rubber outsole. So if you're living in an area where there's gonna be a ton of snow or ice or rain or muck, this is the type of shoe that can crush through all of that with no problems, and that is certified by me. I ran a 20 miler a few weeks ago in an absolutely torrential downpour, and there is no issue with footing at all in the shoe. At $112, this is a great deal. If you hold out, I'm sure the prices will be cheaper. It just depends on if you need a new plated trainer or not. $112 is a good price, but you might be able to get it for $60, $70, $80 if you wait for a few months or weeks. All right guys, next up we have the Adidas Adios 8. Now this is a non-plated lower stack speed shoe. This is a shoe that's gonna be good for interval training. That's gonna be good for faster, shorter efforts. Similar to that Brooks Hyperion Max, it's gonna be a shoe that you wanna take out for those faster days where you're not gonna be spending a ton of time on your feet. Now my guy Matt Byer is a big fan of this shoe. He's been trying to convince me to get it. I don't have a place in my rotation for a lower stack non-plated speed shoe right now. Maybe as I get into the later stages of this marathon build, I might be able to work it in. I'm not sure. But if you are looking for a faster shoe for that interval training day, for those track sessions, this is gonna be a great option. Like the Boston 12, it does have that continental rubber. And for $65 at adidas.com, it is a really good value because you are still getting some Light Strike Pro here up in the forefoot, that fast and bouncy foam. And the heel, you're getting a little bit of a more stable foam, similar to the setup in the Boston 12, where we have that firmer EVA. All right guys, last here we have the New Balance Rebel V3, which is being sold for $95 right now at Running Warehouse. Now this is nowhere near the cheapest we have seen this shoe. I actually got this one for $65 during the summer, and we haven't really seen it at those levels since then. It's been around 95. It's sometimes I've seen it around 75 or 80, but it seems like it's stuck at that around $100 price point right now. However, I did want to include it today because it's the year-end deal roundup, and this was my favorite running shoe of 2023. I loved the connected ride that this gave me. I loved the flexibility it has because it gives a really natural feeling. Now it is fun to run in these plated shoes like the Boston 12 and the SC Trainer V3, but they don't give the same pure and simple sensation of running. The reason I love running is because it's a sport where you just need a pair of shoes and the will to go out there and cruise. There's super low barriers to entry, and this is the type of shoe that reminds me of that. So what you're gonna get in terms of the tech here, it's a non-plated midsole. It's 100% of New Balance's fuel cell foam. So fuel cell in this generation of shoes across the Rebel V3, SC Trainer V2, SC Elite V3 is going to be a supercritical TPU EVA blend. They are moving to PIBA in the new generation of shoes, but in these, it's a nice soft and bouncy feeling, and it's just the perfect amount of squish and energy return, which makes it a super comfortable training shoe. Now Now, I took this even up to 16 miles during the summer when my fitness level was insanely high, so I could run in this for 2 hours. I wouldn't suggest that for most people or if you're not at peak fitness, but this is a really versatile do-it-all shoe if you can run with strength and form. Last thing to recommend this shoe is that it's an excellent treadmill shoe. I typically don't love running in super high stack or soft shoes on the treadmill, and this has just the right amount of cushion and energy return while allowing me to still run naturally on the treadmill. So if you're gonna be spending a lot of time indoor running this winter, this would be a great choice. So all right guys, there you have it. Those are the 10 best New Year deals. As always, thanks for watching, Happy New Year, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video.